Greetings, I'm Dr. Sean Reed, author of The Dating Toolbox, available on Amazon.com. If you want to become successful at dating, if you want to become successful at romance, if you want to get a woman to love you, if you want to keep her in love with you, please hit the like and subscribe button, and please watch more of my videos. Today I want to talk about the fact that love is war and you can't play fair. 60, 70 years ago, all a man had to do was be a good guy, not be an alcoholic, not be abusive, have a good job, treat a woman well, get her flowers, and he could be successful at romance. Today, that is totally different. It's much, much harder today, and that is why you need a system. That is why you need a program, and love is not fair, okay? So let's talk about some of the facts driving my claim that love is not fair, and really, love is war, and you can't play fair. Okay, modern dating, let's look at websites, let's look at dating applications. 85% of the women are only interested in 15% of the men. So basically, you've got to be 6 feet tall, you've got to have a six-pack, you've got to make six figures at least, and then have a picture that looks like what is known as a Chad, to have a shot. And so that average guys, or even above average guys, don't have a chance in that environment. Let's look at marriage. 50% of marriages end in divorce. Of those divorces, 70% of the time, the divorce is filed by the woman. If we look at marriages that are successful, a recent study found that 74% of men were unhappy. So if you're a good guy who wants to get married and wants to raise a family, the odds are against you tremendously. We live in a culture, we live in a society, really, that has declared war on men, especially young, good men who want to raise families. If you look at the colleges, if you look at feminists, they say things like, man-hating is honorable. They teach this in classes. All men are rapists. These are quotes I'm giving from academics, from college professors. Another famous, or shall I say infamous professor of feminists was Andrea Dworkin. And Andrea Dworkin argued that men should be, I quote, men should be beaten to a bloody pulp with a shoe stuffed in their mouth and then served on a plate. Okay, so men are called incels. Men are called misogynists. On TV, we're portrayed as absolute idiots. So really, to survive and date successfully in this environment, you need to have a system. You need to have a program. You need to have a strategy. You need to take this process seriously. And that's why, I advocate guys doing the things I advocate them doing. For example, people get shocked about the fact that part of my system, part of my process will have you dating 3 women a week. Ironically, when I was going to get an editor for my book, I know a guy at my gym who's a well-known professor, but he's a professor, and he's edited many books, but he's a professor at a religious college. And I said, well, can you edit my book? I even offered to pay him $1,000. And he said, well, no, you're advocating sleeping with 3 women a week. I can't do that. I'm a Christian. And so, these aren't consistent with my principles. But the bottom line is, guys, you've got to do stuff like this. The game is rigged against you. So to be successful, to survive, you have to have a program. Okay, so really the consequences are high for men. And you must view dating as a process that you can't be 100% fair. If you meet a girl, you constantly compliment her, you take her out to dinner and spend lots of money, buy her flowers, she's going to lose interest. So you have to have a program. You have to have a program and a system that constantly raises her interest. You have to constantly monitor your behavior, and you have to constantly do things that raise her interest level and that will make her fall in love with you. And that's why you need a program.